What's going on, guys? It's Ergo from Epic Duel Time. We have Tage and Jose with a crazy top for a case tournament. What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
The prizing over here that they got.
Yeah.
What place did you guys finish?
So we made the top four. We just split out the top four, but both of us finished first and second after Swish, and we played the same exact necklace.
All right, let's get into it.
Really quick, I just want to shout out our team, JNC Collectibles, best team, and then shout out
Right there.
for hosting a great tourney.
Facts.
Let's get into it. One thing, Jose built the entire deck, so good stuff, Jose.
The credit.
Yeah, it was insane. So 3 blue, 3 jet, 1 carrot, 1 pixies, 1 red, pretty standard, and then 3 starter, 1 smashers, and then normal summon, diva, best normal summon, tuner. Then we'll go into the 3 swap, 1 Ronin, pretty standard.
And then, just real quick, another reason we decided to play Diva was we thought that, like, for this case tournament specifically, it would probably be better to have like a lot of follow-up. So you want to like interrupt them and on a board that can't really be super polyed, and then have like a lot of follow-up for your next plays. Because like if they're not able to kill you, then you just like you end on like a live Ronin engrave, an add back off of Toad, and then you typically. Whenever they threaten battle phase to out the elf, you'll like elf summon either like a blue or jet to add follow-up as well. So the idea was to have just as much follow-up as possible and then kind of kill them on the crackback.
Diva by itself is just so deep.
Literally happened an absurd amount today.
And then Spice, Light Stage. This card was insane actually. It was my first time playing it, and it was so good at just like forcing out back row or just making people not use their back row.
Yeah. Also in the mirror, like you almost have to Toad or Smashers this because it just like it trades with the body. You put a body on board, which they already don't want because Toad can't really interact with it unless they like negate the Lily Bell in hand, and then it just like baits out one of the back row, which could be a Smasher or an Imperm. So this card is like insane. It literally forces a negate. You have to negate this. So that was really cool. Otherwise, again, it locks down one of the back row, which is like why would you let me get a monster and also lock down one of your Smashers or Imperm when you could just like Toad negate it or Smashers this in general? So again, really good card. Glad we played it. I was having issues with the deck originally when I was like first working on it. Was like I didn't have enough like engine, and I wanted something that was like could be engine going first, but also had like interaction going second to be disruption. So that's where this card came in. It was like really good to fit that niche spot. Engine first and going second, it has applications to interrupt the opponent, so it was really good.
Did you ever find this engine dead at any point?
I mean, it's never dead because even if you draw Lily Bell, like you just normal summon it and it's a level 2. Exactly. So like it is a brick in essence, but like it only bricks when you have another normal summon and you only play 2 other ones in Swap and Diva. As far as like drawing the second one, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know, it is what it is.
You play 2 of it.
Right.
Like, if you draw one, you're pretty happy.
Exactly.
First tier, it's insane because like you don't even have to special summon this if you don't have any other normal summons in hand. You can just hold it, force out the back row, and then normal summon this in play.
Yeah.
3 prosperity,
Standard.
Game, yeah. And then hand traps, 3 nib, 3 crow, 2 ash, 1 bell, 1 veiler, 3 imperm. Honestly, they're just Hawk targets, right? Hawk target, bounce back to hand, extra interruption, and then just the last card is 1 cosmic.
Yeah, the idea behind the weird ratios for the hand traps was like, Ash is like okay into tier, but you typically don't really want it because they like bait out all your interactions and do their tier plays at the end or like some Spright plays. So you typically like, if you know you're playing against tier, you'll like add the bell. And the other reason we had played 1 Veiler and 1 Bell is because if you open Ash, you want to have like multiple targets depending on the deck. And adding Veiler is cool, but it plays really hard into Super Poly. Like if they normal summon Rhinoheart, and then you like let's say they normal summon Rhinoheart and you try to Veiler it, and then they chain Super Poly on the Rhinoheart and your Toad, you're like out of there. So that's like really tough. So you typically want to search Bell in those scenarios. These cards were insane. Nib actually kind of sucked today. I like drew. It was just like it's results based though.
It was
obviously.
insane when I drew.
Yeah, I mean, insane card. You have to play it. The idea behind 1 Cosmic was that it was originally going to be another hand trap. But when we were doing the space for the side deck, when I was like kind of going over it and wanted to perfect the ratios, there was really no room for. I wanted to side Reaper, so basically I wanted to make room for the side deck in this. So basically I had to put a card that was in the side deck into the main deck. So Cosmic was a slot. Obviously you can set it going first. It hits Perolino. Going second, it can hit the Salic, or it can hit like a random super poly they have set. So it just has applications, which is what we wanted. Yeah.
Also good against Runic Fountain, so
yeah, I didn't play any Runics, but for sure.
I mean, it could be like a second Smashers too, but
yeah. And then for the extra,
Spright engine, 3 elf, 2 gigantic, classic. Zeus package, Sky Cavalry, Downerd, Zeus. Onib for the removal, Cat Shark for OTKs, Toad. And then for the other links, we have Dark, Hulk, Phoenix, and then Service.
Yeah, these cards are like so essential to the deck. I think they're so important. Phoenix is really good because against Tier Element, they kind of they sometimes end on a board if you hand trap enough for like a super poly set, and you want to have something that can force a super poly so you don't have to play awkwardly into it. So basically you Phoenix the super poly, and then any level 2 becomes gigantic, and it's cool because once you make gigantic it'll stick to 32 because it has the Phoenix's material. Cerberus is really good. It outed like 3 nip tokens I gave opponents today. It also is just randomly good to out like generic monsters. You basically just want to, these cards like bait out interactions, they have to negate them, and then you consolidate to like a gigantic, and it's game every time from there. So yep.
And then the side deck. Gamma package, best hand trap. Ghost Reaper. This card is actually crazy for me too. Like it just auto wins the Spright matchup.
Yeah.
Shifter.
Yeah, real quick. The idea behind Reaper was like, we play so many hand traps. Ideally, you want to draw Reaper with another one. And if they don't open swap, then you can Reaper that gigantic. Otherwise, if they open swap, you Reaper the elf. And then the other hand trap makes it so like when you go for your own Spright plays, you just pop off. And then you're always winning the grind because you play the 3 elf. Another reason we played that. So Reaper was just really good.
Shifter for the tier matchup, card's insane. And then Gamma Burst. Reasoning is you have to